everybody, and welcome to Poland Daily Travel. We're standing in the market square, on the edge of the market square, near the Branicki Palace and the cathedral in Białystok. Białystok, Poland, is the 10th largest city in the country and the biggest city in the northeastern, let's say, part of Poland. Lublin being the biggest city, the other bigger city on the east. But to the southeast. Now, from here, we're very close to Belarus. And if you go straight out this direction, the way the market square is pointing, that very long strip of buildings, that's the market square, you'll see, you'll eventually come to Warsaw. If you go this way, you'll eventually come to Belarus, which is only about 40 miles away, something like that. It's not far. Now, as we walk down here, you see pretty much a classic 18th century square. That's what's going on here. Why? Because it was rebuilt. There was a big fire, very few buildings were left standing, and the whole square was rebuilt effectively in the middle part of the 18th century by Prince Branicki, who also built the palace over here. He was a big adherent of 18th century architecture, and particularly French architecture, as we see in the Branicki Palace. Now, this would have been a perfect coaching street at that time, and very easy to see that because of it's quite narrow and very long. So this would have been a throughway right through the middle of the square to the next towns on the way. There's not a lot of bigger places in this area. This is, in fact, very unusual, this particular area. If you go as a metropolitan area, if you go to the immediate north, you run into a big forest called the Białystok forest on the Białystok River. Białystok marshes are famous within Europe as perhaps the largest wetland, and one of the most pristine wetlands anywhere in Europe, even North America. Now, if you go to the right, to the south, you will end up in Białowieża. This is the oldest piece of forest in Europe, where it also contains the largest animal in Europe, the bison, or as Americans might call it, the buffalo. So you're strategically placed here to visit a lot of beautiful countryside. So all the outdoor sports are very popular here: kayaking, what do you call it? Well, bicycling, of course, hang gliding, things like that, and also boating of any kind, I suppose you would say. You've got two rivers coming nearby here too, the Bug River and the Narew River. They flow, both of them, from the east toward Warsaw, where they eventually meet and flow into the Vistula at Modlin. So Białystok is a very strategic location. It has been for centuries, and it is still now. Enjoy the trailer, and after that, come back and tell you about one of the most famous citizens, not the only famous citizen, but one of the most famous citizens who's known throughout the world for his invention of a language. Hello everybody and welcome back. This little fellow represented in bronze is meant to be Ludwig Zamenhof. And this is the street, the self-same street in which he was born. I might say to you, Bonan Tagon, which means Dzień dobry or good day in Esperanto. Now, you may have never spoken Esperanto, but you certainly most likely heard of Esperanto, which was a language he invented in the 19th century. You know, he was an ophthalmologist, so this was a man concerned with vision. I mean, his very profession was all about vision, helping people to see more clearly. And the idea of Esperanto was to help people communicate more clearly. So, what a visionary. Sorry about that. Pun intended, folks. Ludwig Zamenhof. Bonan Tagon. See you tomorrow night.